I built this tool that mixes and masters your tracks in seconds. Drop your stems on, tag them, it analyzes them, then it gives you a selection of mix and mastering presets which you can either run with or tweak. Here's what it sounds like on my mate Josh's song. Desperate to find a way to make me care. Here's an electronic jam that I did. And here's a psychedelic krautrock odyssey from my friend Pink Bob. I'm going to launch this in October. A friend of mine is going to help me spruce up the interface. I'm going to be building a whole bunch of mix presets, but crucially, I just cannot think what to name this. I've tried so many things. Stem vibes, finish engine, Tim Mixile. So I've decided to do a pre-launch campaign and complete the final leg of this journey, including finding a name, in public. It's going to be £99 when it launches, but you can pre-order it now for a massive discount of 30% on the launch price. Your pre-order is really going to help me do the best I can to polish this off and launch it. So thank you in advance for your support. Also, for a limited time only, I'm offering a service where I will personally mix and master your track using this tool. Link and info to all of that is down in the description if you want to check it out. If you don't know my work already, I'm a musician and a technologist. I've released multiple albums on well-respected labels such as Warp, which is a label that Aphex Twin is on, and I've been building music software for over 20 years now, both under my own brand and in collaboration with Native Instruments. I've always wished that mixing tools could be simple and quick if you wanted instant results, but powerful and customizable if you wanted to go deep. So I built this, the tool without a name. If you're a complete beginner, you can just drop your raw recordings in and use a preset. If you know a bit more, then there's lots of ways that you can customize and tweak it. And if you're a pro who eats mid-side matrices and multi-band dynamics for breakfast, this is a great tool to audition mixing styles before you decide which direction you're going to take your final mix in. But this is just my perspective. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you'd like to use it for. And also, if you've got any ideas for a name, chuck them in there as well. Select different mix and master presets down here. Browse collections to find different types of preset. I'm going to be making a bunch more of these presets and collections before launch. Once you've selected a preset, you can adjust the amount of processing for each component, or you can adjust the amount of everything all at once with the mix knob. The cleanup section helps create separation between the elements in your mix for extra clarity, and the master section gives you extra control over the tone and loudness of the output. If you know what LUFS are, I got you. You can also lock components to mix and match elements of different presets, which gives you way more flexibility. So how does it work? Well, firstly, there's no AI. This isn't trained on other people's work. I didn't boil an ocean on energy-intensive compute to make this do what it does. I basically built three systems. There's an analysis engine that pulls about 300 data points from your stems. There's a mixing and mastering engine featuring multi-channel, multi-band dynamics processing, analog model tape saturation to add warmth, lots of mid-side magic, spectral side chaining, and a transparent brick wall limiter. And finally, there's a preset mapper, which connects the analysis data to the mix parameters. It supports up to 32 stems, and it runs as a plugin inside your DAW, or as a standalone application inside the free Reactor player. As I mentioned, it's launching in October for £99, but you can pre-order it now for £69. Link to grab it is in the description, as well as a link to use the service where I will personally mix and master your track using the tool without a name. This all helps support me, an independent solo developer, and my family, so your support is really appreciated. Okay, now I'm going to walk through building up a full mix and master from the very beginning using the tool without a name. So here's where you start. It's a big drop zone. I'm going to drop all of the files that he sent me on here, and it imports the audio and builds all the waveforms and does all that kind of stuff. Okay, now I can see all the raw stems here. I'm going to go through and set them up and categorize them. So I just mouse over each stem. It kind of plays back a bit of a loop of wherever you're mousing over in the background. I can hear that this is a drum track, and so is this one, and these are actually left and right. So I'm going to pan this one hard left, And I'm going to pan this one hard right. Here's the backing. Here's backing. More backing. This is bass. This is backing. That's backing too, actually. I think those are also mono, so I'll pan that hard left, and we'll pan that one hard right. I'll call this one a lead. This is a lead as well. This is actually a rough mix, so we don't need that. We'll just turn that one off. Right, hit done, and it starts the analysis where it's going to pick out the 300 data points which it's going to base its mix on. So here we are, ready to go. I'm going to skip to the main section to prepare to turn the mix on so we can hear the full effect. Let's go. Yeah, that's sounding pretty nice already, to be honest. Let's listen to how we could possibly tweak this to make it a bit better. Loudness is looking pretty good. Kind of averaging out around 13 LUFS, which is perfect for streaming services which usually normalise to around -14 LUFS. Maybe the tone, maybe it's a bit too bright. Maybe the mastering is a little heavy. I think those kind of like shaker things are maybe a bit too spiky. You can scrub through on this waveform at the top here, and if you want you can just scrub over the individual channels as well, which is quite good for just like auditioning the material. See the bass or the backing. Yeah, I kind of like how those drums are sounding. Let's try a different preset. Yeah, definitely in the pocket the drums sounded just a bit too spiky at the top, so I'm going to lock in the drums on Savage. Yeah, to my ears the mid-range is maybe a bit too present on the backing here. So let's try, we're going to lock everything else out. Where was it that we're... Oh yeah, here. Okay, let's loop that section. Okay, yeah, in the pocket is a bit... That's a little bit less bright. I think that's good. Let's lock that one in. Turn the loop off. With a bit more level on the lead, maybe. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Okay, it's quite noisy at the beginning here. There is noise suppression built in, but it works at a very low level. If you want extra noise suppression, you've actually got a noise knob in cleanup, which is pretty handy to use. You can still hear a bit of noise here. Just going to try turning that up. There we go, that gets rid of more of that noise. This cleanup section is really for, I mean, if you've already got a sort of well arranged and maybe you've done a bit of mixing on your track already, you probably don't need to lean on the cleanup features that much. But if you've got like a really raw jam or a really raw recording, these are really, really helpful for what the frequencies does. It removes conflict in the various different frequency bands between all the channels, so it can really help clean up your mix, helps give it more punch. And noise it's really great for removing background noise, but it's also, it kind of helps with clarity of the mix as well. I mean, I'll show you. Let me skip to up here. If you turn up noise really high, I mean, right at the top, you lose a ton of information. I mean, it's too intense up here, but there's a real sweet spot kind of around the middle. So yeah, you can really use it to kind of clean up your audio if you've got something pretty raw. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm just going to boost the loudness a little bit more, just so we can push the limiter a little bit. Good. Still sounding nice and transparent. Can't hear the limiter pumping or anything. And we're getting a good loudness level here. Right, I'll just tweak these start points. Actually, I'll leave it playing because you can scrub while you set the start points. Set that there. Let's set the end point to there where it fades out. I think we're good to go. Next thing is just to get this into the DAW, select a region, and then just bounce the track out as an offline render. So if you got this far on, well done. Thank you for sticking all the way to the end. I'm really, really excited about this. I've been mixing a whole bunch of different stems. A lot of them I can't share publicly because they're stuff that people have sent me privately. But like, I'm really looking forward to using this on, like, particularly on taking sort of more raw material that is less mixed. It's really, really good at taking that kind of material. I've tried it on some material that is already quite well mixed and it still does a pretty good job. So yeah, let me know what you think, how you might use this, what features you'd be looking for, and also if you've got any ideas for a name, let me know down in the comments. Pre-launch is live now, 30% discount on the final price. Your support is massively appreciated. Stay tuned for lots more content coming about the tool without a name. See you in the next one.